So today we're actually gonna be doing another shrimp tank. So as you guys know, if you've been watching, so my mom's tank, the 45p series that we've been doing for, it's been running about almost 4 months now, I think, maybe 4 to 5 in that range at the current moment. So you guys have obviously seen those videos. If you haven't, definitely check them out. There's a whole series on from the startup to, basically now on the setup. But yeah, so that's basically that tank. And so in the same room, we come over here and now we have this tank that I set up. So obviously, if you guys have been watching, this is the reef tank that we're going to use for the reef tank. So this is the UNS 5S, and of course changes plans. And as you guys see now, I use a Waterbox 10 as my reef, which is a 10 times better system, obviously, and makes more sense. So the shallow was, free to use. So I didn't have no place to put it in, my living space, so I put it here. And I think it'll be a great second setup. So yeah, so basically what I've done so far, I basically already escaped it. So if you guys didn't want to, if you guys, I know some of you guys wanted to probably see this like escape video, but I just didn't do it for this one just because it was late and I just had other stuff to do, so I didn't really get to really film a proper video on the escaping of this. But today we're actually gonna be planting it and flooding it, so you guys will at least see what it looks like from day one, flooded and planted and everything else. So the escaping we did, so actually I had 3 pieces of wolfstone that I bought that I just never used, and this I just wanted to use it somehow because it was too good looking to like just have sitting in the closet. So that's why I've used it in this scape, and I was able to use it pretty well. So I got those 3 pieces, and then this piece right here, and then I stacked that piece right there. A little bit of depth. I thought that looked nice, and then I glued some more hornwood on this to give it a little bit of detail and kind of cover up that ugly edge right there. Of course, and this long piece you might actually recognize it because it actually was used in the old 60 scape, and so I was able to use it in here. I had a beat there. You can see this bottom log was coming through, and I actually had to chop that off to get this to actually fit in here. But I think it looks pretty good. And so the light we're going on here is ONF. I think it's going to work great. Potentially with this beam right here, we could actually have a pendant, honestly, and that would be like absolute best because then we could really light up, this whole piece. But honestly, the ONF is gonna work perfectly fine, and this is not my building to do that with. So ONF looks good and it's gonna work perfectly fine, especially with the plants we're gonna put in here. This will be a no CO2 setup at all, so it'd be a lot of lower tech plants, boosts, just epiphytes and all that. Nothing too crazy, nothing that we can't grow without CO2. So just make this pretty easy tank, and then filter. Really, honestly, this tank could honestly run without a filter. It is very possible because it's just going to be a shrimp tank, but I have that, so I'm going to use it. It's a really nice Azu mini filter, and it looks nice. It's all clear and it's really small. So I have some established matrix I'm going to toss in there with a little bit of polypad. So that's what I'm going to do there. But then planting choice. So like I said, I have some boosts, and then Anubias. I'm going to take out some plants of the 45p and just see what we can do. And then potentially the Ricardia, so I'll take out some Ricardia and definitely put some Ricardia in here because the shrimp will love that, of course. And then one plant I got, it's Hydrophila 53B, which is just, I think it's a code name for this stuff because it really doesn't have a name, or at least, from at least Tropica, that is, it doesn't really give it a name. They just call it 53B, but it looks really nice, and I'm hoping like immersed it looks even better. I'm actually going to save some of the clippings. Whatever I don't use in this tank, I'll use in my 60F for sure because I really like that plant. So that's what I'll do there. So that I'll probably plant like back here somewhere. I'll say maybe in this corner if I can fit it, but we'll just see. I just don't know what I'll fit, but I'll probably actually I probably will. I'll probably put 2 back here and then a couple back here, basically in this corner, just so it stays away from the filter. So yeah, I'll probably actually end up doing that kind of left corner there, but hopefully it gets enough light. I just don't know with how it is, but hopefully it does pretty fine because there's actually a lot of light in this room, so hopefully, like, even if it doesn't get direct light from the ONF here, hopefully it still does good because it's a pretty easy plant in general. But yeah, then we'll have some over here for sure. But other than that, I think, yeah, I'll get planting, and I don't want to make this video too long, but I won't do a time lapse just because I don't have the equipment with me to set this camera up. But I'll go through and plant it, and I'll basically just come back to you guys when it's actually planted and we have all the water in it. So I'll update real quick. So basically, I'm still in the middle. I still got to plant the other plant in the back, but I'm pretty much already kind of finished here in the front. I mean, there still might be a few things, but just of the plants that I can kind of utilize out of the 45p and take out and what I'm able to use, this is pretty much probably all I'm going to do for now. But obviously I got all the boosts in there. I stole one Anubius and put it right here. I think that looks kind of nice. A little bit bigger, but I feel like it just gives it more of an impression right there. And then I stuck some of the Ricardia in here. I stuck all in the cracks here. Obviously this stuff's just going to grow pretty quickly and bush up, but it's not that hard to really trim all out, so not a big deal. And I put some in between here, and then obviously I put some right on top of the rock. Eventually I wouldn't mind some all the way growing up here, or at least anything growing all the way up there, but I just don't know yet, so I kind of like left it. And then I got S-Repens, trimming S-Repens from here and here, all these. Hopefully those grow fine. I do have some back here. I don't know how well they're gonna do because they're kind of shadowed. They are getting hit by light, but I don't know how well they're actually gonna do right there. But we'll just see. We'll just hope. But it'd be kind of nice if there's like a little bush that builds up right there. I think that'd look pretty nice. But other than that, I'm going to plant the hydrophila in the back, and I'll kind of come back to you guys and then start filling it. So I finished all the planting now, so actually I'm going to fill it up. So the next clip you guys will see it all filled up. But just to update on the kind of things I did. So the 53B I planted, so right here, 2 right there. And then I saved one more for the 60F that I'll probably grow immersed until that's ready. And then I took some Pink Panther trimming, so I trimmed the one I had growing there in half and put it right here. Now Pink Panther, it obviously does better in soil, but like ADA, they've actually used it in their terra bases a lot of times, and Pink Panther will grow without substrate, so it's kind of like it can grow as an epiphyte as well. And so they've done it all the time, so I thought might as well try it myself. I did like stick it in between the rock and wood, and then you can see like the roots like not far from the soil. So hopefully what I'm planning is for it to kind of grow out right there, but then the roots will just naturally attach itself in the soil, and then that should be able to get it some better growth. So I'm hoping that's how it works out. But yeah, other than that, then I think I showed you guys this. The pinophylla is right there. Then I put another pinophylla trimming that I just accidentally cut off back there. So maybe that can actually grow up and kind of, you know, mix in with the immersed plants up here. So yeah, we'll just see. I just don't know how well these will. We'll see how well this all grows immersed. I just don't know what's going to happen or not, but we'll try it out and see what happens. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and start filling it. I'll put a bag down so nothing gets all messed up. But other than that, I'll do that and I'll come back to you guys. So I just got it filled up, and I got the filter running, so I had the matrix in there, and I just turned on the filter there. I had it like in the very corner, but like I needed to really hit that log because it was kind of uprooting the S-Repens a little bit, so it'll be perfect right there. It's just hitting the boost is getting kind of hit with flow, but hopefully that does fine. Honestly, I probably need to move it from right there and really moss is probably the only thing that really is going to do decent right there, because most of the plants aren't going to like a lot of flow. But it has a little bit of flow. It's a little cloudy, but it's actually pretty crystal clear for, you know, I did fill it up pretty fast. But yeah, hopefully like all these immersed, like it's already pretty much immersed now, so like of course Tropic grows these. This is already in the kind of immersed form, so hopefully like I just don't know, hopefully it doesn't dry out, but I think all these will do pretty good, to be honest. And then hopefully the Pink Panther does the same. It'd be really cool how that turns out, but if it doesn't, it doesn't. Well, that's why we kind of learn and experiment. But yeah, so basically the plan is just, this will be just a shrimp tank. Really, I don't think there's any fish we could do in here. I mean, it'd have to be something really, really small. Like the only thing I can really think of on the top of my head is like Phoenix rasboras. And those are really super tiny, but at the same time, I don't even know if I would do those in here, to be honest. So this will mainly just be an invert tank, so shrimp. So I'm thinking neocordials will probably be the easiest. I mean, if we do some like blue velvet, just something that's not too crazy, but at least start with that. And then eventually, if I want to spend a little more money and put some nicer stuff in here, I definitely will. But it'd be nice just to have a secondary tank of more shrimp, you know, especially if they breed or not. But yeah, hopefully all this. I didn't have any filter floss, which kind of sucked because that would have helped really purify it a lot in the beginning. But I'll have to come back whenever I can. Probably this time, I'll probably come back during this week just to check on this and make sure everything's doing fine. Maybe even do a water change, but make sure there's all kinds of floaties and stuff to clean it up a little bit. And then I'm actually gonna dose some seed to jumpstart it. The matrix in there should be all cycled and good to go, but of course that doesn't hurt to, I have plenty of seed, so it won't hurt to go ahead and dose that. And I will have to mineralize this water because I'll check the TDS in a minute, but it's probably only going to be like 5 to 10. Some of the stuff might be leached into the water column that's in this tank, but it's going to be super low, so go ahead and remineralize it. So it's already at about 120 or so. But other than that, I got the timer, so I'll put the timer on the ONF because obviously we'll need to keep that on. I'll set it at the same time that the other tank does, and other than that, yeah, I'll clean it up and I'll give you guys updates. Obviously, we'll do a little series on this tank as well. But if you have any other questions on the hardscape or anything, if you missed anything, definitely ask down below, where my Instagram is JGAquariums, where you can ask me literally anything you want, and I'll respond to you pretty quickly as I can. But other than that, I'll see you guys on the next video on this one.